The eyes of CCTV are everywhere, recording every facet of our lives. And yes, that might be an invasion of privacy, but it's also a never-ending supply of material for Akimbo. And isn't that the most important thing? You'd need a magician to find out where that went, or a very specific doctor. Now it's time for Akimbo's dating tips for mannequins. This is the puppy version of The Great Escape, except he doesn't notice he can escape and then just has a little nap instead.
And then deadass falls asleep in the pen that he was trying to escape.
The painful sound of someone just noticing a security camera. This guy has clearly figured out how to break the laws of physics and win every drinking game on the planet. If your shoplifter is a monkey, then what's the correct protocol? Call the monkey police? Did you ever wonder where Santa gets all those gifts you'll be finding under your tree? Well, he does plenty of shopping in downtown LA. It's bad enough to fall into the sidewalk, but even worse to fall into something that looks like a raw sewage. Luckily, their colleagues were there to pull them to safety. And now here's someone getting tripped up by a ghost. This is why you should never have complete faith in your sat-nav. Want to see how some people make a living? Keep a close eye on the guy in the background. Weirdly, this brilliantly constructed seat just wasn't very secure. One of these drivers doesn't know how to reverse park, and one of them doesn't know what an emergency brake is. This might look like a pretty standard bit of shoplifting, but this is actually Norwegian politician Bjørnar Moxnes being caught in the act. You know the paper boys who just throw the paper at your house? Well, some people deliver cars like that. If you live in a high crime area, then taking an empty wallet out isn't a bad idea. She switches those wallets quicker than a magician. Spilling laundry detergent was clearly the cherry on top of the cake of this guy's bad day. How do you know when you've overinflated a tire? Like this. Don't bully dogs. They might fetch their big brother. After being outclassed by a skilled chicken, this fox messed with the wrong old lady. If you go into a shoe store and find stinky old sneakers everywhere, then you can be sure this guy's a frequent visitor. This is a really weird way to do a smash and grab. He's extremely safety conscious, but has neglected to remember one small thing. How do you know when a delivery is too heavy for your truck? Well, keep watching to the end and you'll find out. This couple decided to test out their new dog crates, and they worked a little too well. You know, like prison does. How can you take an attack by a fridge so personally? Keep your eyes on those bills, because the one she gives him after he sorts out the change is a little less valuable. In other words, yes, it's a scam. accident or driven by the ex of the guy who owns that car. The only thing that can stop a vicious dog? Amateur kung fu.
Thank you. Quick, come in.
It was almost his lucky night.
Oh, no, I was talking to the dog.
I was like it too. Okay.
Sorry.
Have a good night.
You too.
This should always be the appropriate response to touching a woman without consent. Here's another person struggling to open one of those pesky invisible doors. Proof that cats just hate human affection. Do you ever feel that if you relax for one moment, then everything will fall to pieces? Even cows can have beef with each other. Yes, there is such a thing as glass being too well polished.
Ooh, there you go, another one. Another one.
This may just be a subtle way of saying, take me for a walk. Water is clearly more slippery in this place than anywhere else. There are some places where punishment for shoplifting is being challenged to a dance-off. It was raining so heavily that even the umbrella said nope. When your bike's broken down and the day can't possibly get any worse. This wouldn't have been as embarrassing if it wasn't for the enthusiastic trot beforehand. Snagging people's clothes is a really effective sales technique. We all have TV celebrities we hate, but this kid really knows how to show it. When a bid for freedom goes horribly wrong.
Yeah, what do you want?
What I want is to deliver a package if you want it.
Who's it for?
Ian. Never mind, you can pick it up.
Hey!
To be fair, what else would a FedEx employee holding a package want?
Hey!
There was no chance of this guy trying a hit and run. Why would you ring the doorbell with your tongue? Well, because you're stuck in a ladder, obviously. Duh. And this, folks, is why it's worth spending the extra money on a reinforced door. Well, unless that is the homeowner and they've forgotten their key. If you get the chance to prank your partner while doing the chores, you should always take it.
I'm just sleeping!
A lot to unpack here. A shoplifter, a cashier who seems happy about it, and a random act of destruction. This dog was clearly amazed at the temporary generosity of his humans. Ruining someone's gender reveal is not a great way to endear yourself to them. This little guy clearly needs to pay his banana dealer before he breaks all 4 legs. Hey, here's a tip for you. Never steal somebody's tip jar. This contractor had been on the job a whole 45 minutes, so he decided to have a little nap. And then another one, and then another one. Later on, the boss catches him and shows him footage of him going through the cabinets. So, a successful day's work then. Want to keep your cattle inside an impenetrable fortress? Then don't buy one of these things. Oh, shit. The horrible sound of shattering AirPods. A visit to the gas station is expensive these days, especially if this happens. A good example of why you should always keep your keys in your pocket. If you're looking for a lesson in how to look stupid on camera, then this guy should be your teacher. Have you ever seen those dog diapers? Well, they're precisely for moments like this. Yeah, this looks like the perfect time to open my door. Seems like the perfect thief, doesn't it? How could this be a fail? Oh. When no amount of personal injury is gonna stop you from buying a snack. We've all been there. You get a bit drunk, you get a lift home, you try to get in the wrong house, and the whole thing is caught on camera.
This is the key.
This is not the right
This
key.
is my house. No, I swear to God, this is my house, right? I swear to
You
God.
heard that?
This is not my house. This is not my house.
What you're watching is a guy attempting a home invasion, while the police are already watching him. When you think your son is a polite member of society. But then you get a doorbell camera. You get the feeling that there should be a man running after this. Oh, there he is. Luckily, this girl was fine, which is amazing given the relaxed way only 2 people went over to help her. When you realize that your wife has a secret life as a rally driver. These two are so good at their job, they're on fire. Something tells us that that water might not be 100% legal. Luckily, the cop seems to be too drunk to do anything. Never underestimate the destructive power of a horse and a cart. This car managed to fall to pieces and do a perfect parking job all at the same time. Who needs Google Cars when you got one of these? Geese aren't allowed in supermarkets, so they have to resort to porch piracy instead. The world's most ambitious shoplifter. One of those days when you leave work feeling completely tired. This woman is a pool ninja. She just hasn't mastered the art of not attacking yourself with the cue. Just that section of the supermarket where your kid can find a nice razor blade to completely shave his head with. And now, the most original way to get off a motorcycle in history. Sadly, a full tank of stolen gas is not the financial equivalent of a new back window. If this happens on your way to work, then you can guarantee it's a Monday. You know those people who wash your car windows when you stop at a traffic light? Well, this guy does the same, but with paint. This accident is strangely reminiscent of the opening scenes of Raiders of the Lost Ark. The problem with having pause is that you can't use a phone to order takeout. But this little guy found a way around that. How do you know when it's time to repair that pothole? This. Do you ever get that weird feeling that you've forgotten something? when you start off your day as a delivery guy and end it as a hostage. When you try to look tough by eating raw workout mix and it doesn't work out. We've all experienced that embarrassing moment when you completely forget how to ride a bike. When mom has one too many margaritas. Don't you hate it when you're trying to have a conversation with someone and they pull out their phone? This little guy does. Did you know that this is how some people steal motorcycles? Well, now you do. You can only assume that since that bat was so nearby, squirrel attacks must happen to this man every day. A nightmare for the dog and the house owner. There's being scared of dogs, and then there's being really scared of dogs. The first thing a real estate agent should be double checking is that the house they're showing is actually up for sale. Well, not this guy. If you're being chased by the police, you've got two options: run, or just have a nice sit down. Watch and learn. This is how you react when someone steals your parking space. Some thieves are so laid back, they're practically horizontal. She's probably stealing flowers to give to a sick relative. Oh, maybe not. This dad had just finished telling his son not to let his balloon touch the bushes. So, he let it touch the bushes. Here's a man's very first time encountering one of those boomerang stones. We're not experts in human behavior, but this guy might just be scared of dogs. Sometimes you've just got to take a selfie of the water. If you're an older woman who's unsteady on your feet, then it's important to have a sympathetic husband. How to fall with style and completely ruin all the efforts you've made to look cool in front of the girls. This car's about to have some pretty permanent air conditioning.
Oh, Tim, back off.
This guy thought he'd have trouble getting home on an empty tank. Now he'll just have trouble getting home, period. This motorcyclist had clearly decided he needed a quicker, more efficient way to wash his bike. This guy was far too busy on his phone to notice this epic gladiatorial fight to the death. Sometimes the reality of having your own truck is just a crushing disappointment. Literally. This dog is on commission for a local window salesman. And now, the world's most sci-fi burglar alarm.
You are under surveillance.
Never underestimate how nosy your neighbors can be, even your neighborhood dogs. Whatever these guys saw, it wasn't scary enough to stop the dog going back for its toy. when you realize you've left your dignity in the car. When your teacher's lessons are a little too dry. It's ironic that cameras designed to keep you safe often capture your most painful accidents. This is one of those lawnmowers that you can only successfully operate naked. If you make a living showing people how to make pizza on Twitch, then it's probably not a good idea to drop a completely ruined pizza on Twitch. You know that feeling when you accidentally become someone's prisoner forever? Okay, maybe not forever, but I'm sure it felt like forever. Some ducks have guardian angels. They just happen to be quite furry. If you're not happy in your relationship, then try meeting your girlfriend's parents like this.
Nice to meet you, Matthew.
Okay, we've all done this, maybe just not on camera. When you're called out to fix a small electrical problem and end up causing a blackout. Sometimes it's so icy that even your emergency brake says nope. How to spot the weak link in your production line. You know how you should never leave a dog in a hot car? Well, the same goes for fried chicken if there's a hungry dog outside your car. Huskies are really cute and lovable, right? Right? If two men decide to push a car, it helps if they're both pushing in the right direction. These two women appear to be sober, and yet they still can't tell the difference between glass and thin air. As you can see, sibling rivalries never end well. A completely foolproof way to fit all your clothes into one cabinet. We're sure nobody was harmed during this accident, unless someone nearby lit a match. Here's a man who's really starting to regret that 2 wheels for the price of 1 offer. If you grew up in the 90s, then you'll have precious memories of Tinky Winky, Dipsy, Lala, and Po, and the way they'd break into your property and steal your forklift. Don't worry, cats will always land on their feet, unlike plant pots. In a parallel universe, somebody had to clean this guy off that railway line. Why don't humans try breaking out of prison like this? After all, both animals were fine. If you're throwing a sophisticated dinner party, then don't invite these guys over. This guy can only be heroic when he's revealing his underpants. If there's one thing you don't want to leave at home in the morning, it's your hair. Yes, there's nothing more noble than stealing from kids and making a high-speed getaway. Warnings don't apply to people with expensive cars. Well, cars that used to be expensive. If you're gonna attempt a smash and grab, it's important to choose the right rock. Sometimes it's good to look up from your phone and enjoy the world around you. And avoid drowning. This joke was so funny that she lost all control of her bodily functions. This kid wants to be a professional footballer when he grows up, but he's clearly not going to survive that long. And now, here's an impressive bit of accidental shoplifting. Pain, followed by rage, followed by, there. There comes a time when you've had a certain amount to drink that you stop being able to pass through an empty gap. Why not buy a Ring doorbell and give heart attacks to your friends and family?
You are currently being recorded.
They were so amused at their friends slipping that they ran out into the street to tell the world. Just a guy driving his truck through a gate. Oh, wait. There's no guy? This guy's brand new Porsche decides it's had enough of the relationship and reverses itself out of the garage. This is why you should never go fishing for the Loch Ness Monster. After this pizza fell out of its box, the delivery driver decided the customer wouldn't notice if he just shoved fistfuls of mozzarella and tomato back into it. We all enjoy a good sneeze, right? But some of them are so good, they break furniture. When you're convinced you recognize the shoplifter. The great thing about a doorbell cam is that you can keep your family safe and entertain them with footage of your accidents. This woman doesn't even try to stop, which is weird because this is a really ineffective way to end your own life. Here's someone who hasn't grasped the basic idea of a steering wheel. If you watch this next clip for too long, you might completely lose your grip on reality. Here's another person who got accidentally trapped on someone's property and had to live with them forever. Well, okay, a few minutes. That moment when you think it's completely logical to catch a pan full of hot fat. This psychic dog woke up at exactly the right time. Footage of why you should always maintain your brakes. This is USPS delicately delivering some fragile, fertilized eggs. When you forget about the emergency brake. Twice. Nobody told this guy that you're supposed to let go of your luggage when you put it on the conveyor belt. Watch as this good Samaritan stops to help this poor guy completely trash his car. Sick of your stolen car? Maybe it's time to steal a new one. And now another careful and thoughtful delivery, this time from Amazon. So this woman went into a McDonald's to complain about an incorrect drive-thru order, and then things got a little out of control. In other words, this was clearly not a happy meal. Some puddles are slightly deeper than others. That's just basic science. This security gate clearly isn't too effective, which is why they have two furry alternatives. We're not sure what this guy is saying in this clip, but we're sure it's something polite like, "Whoops, silly me." The moment your safety mask finally paid for itself. So, how much do you charge to fix a car that's on fire? This guy was taking no chances. But then, gunshots aren't the kind of sound that generally make you relax. This guy was only a few meters away from being turned into the Flash. This cop heroically managed to save this dog from death by rising elevator. This guy clearly opted for the variety of cruise control that maneuvers you out of the way of shopping carts. Once again, a doorbell cam successfully catches a homeowner's humiliation. Sometimes your house loves you so much it just won't let you go. Here's just one of the many issues with wearing shoes made out of banana skin. We've seen a few clips of people being scared of dogs, so here's something a bit different. Sometimes dogs can be a bit too friendly. It takes a special kind of driver to be in a completely empty parking lot and still hit the curb. This car has finally had enough of being used and abused by humans. This is what happens when you make a pig out of yourself. Pickpockets need to stand as close as possible for as long as possible, and this one's been there longer than her shadow. This is from the new Netflix true crime series, When Hammocks Attack. Time for a nice, relaxing fall. The problem with stealing detergent is that it's pretty easy to spot. It's always nice to know you've got friends who care about you. Locking yourself in scary rooms is a skill every baby needs to master. He couldn't have been any more panicked if that phone was a newborn baby. If there's one thing you don't want to deal with during your workday, it's a cow with an attitude problem. She knew there was a slight breeze in the air, just not that it was a force 12 breeze with danger to human and animal life. You get the feeling that this guy has not only failed his driving test, but didn't even show up at the right place on the right day, or even in a car. If you don't believe that robots will kill all the humans one day, then just look at what happens with these gates. Some porch pirates just don't care about cameras, neighbors, or even having their car and number plate on display. You know the owner of this jewelry store? Well, this is him having a really bad day. Nobody can destroy the house in an instant quite like a dog. This surveillance camera comes straight from the Starship Enterprise.
You are under surveillance.
When your van gets tired of your crap. You know that trick where you pull a tablecloth from under various plates and things? This is the car version. An antisocial but effective method to find a parking space. Sometimes you just get sick of your toys and the TV and decide to become a rebel. This is like the magic trick with cups and balls, but, you know, criminal. Some people recognize opportunities for theft like phones recognize faces. The day the sheep rebellion began. There's nothing like a burger and Coke. Well, not like that. You should always be moving forward in life, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't learn how to reverse. No matter what anyone says, tractors cannot pass through solid objects. When you use a trash can like a football, and the trash can uses you like a UFC sparring partner. Yeah, she might be working on this chore for a long time. They left instructions saying, "Leave outside the gate," and this is why. This car is far too eager to be washed. When a dog loves a child, you'd better not mess with that child. This woman is not performing a spot of modern dance. It's all down to a bead. These two guys seem very confident when they start breaking into this house, but not so confident when they heard a voice behind the door.
Get away from the door.
Well, he probably just assumes the barriers don't apply to someone as special as him. When a swarm of people start looting the 7-Eleven you work at, there's not much else you can do but watch. Another victim of the "I thought there was a chair there" routine. Like any hero, she wasn't thinking of herself, and most of the beer survived. Fire hydrant? What fire hydrant? This is what it looks like when cars decide to mate with each other. Some of your friends' cars love your house so much, they just decide to come over and use the pool. problem with having a lightweight motor vehicle is that two skinny teenagers can just wander in and pick it up. And he's still chasing that piece of paper to this day. Someone should be holding that ladder, and here's why. When you try to look tough, but it doesn't exactly go swimmingly. When you take your dad's new car for a spin. Even ghosts need a way to get around. This has gone far enough. There needs to be a zero-tolerance policy on tires bullying dogs. The eternal battle of car owner versus tow truck. When you can't figure out why your engine has suddenly started purring. Here's a criminal who clearly failed geometry. If the stairs are this slippery, then you've probably done a good job cleaning. It may not be the best way to unload, but at least it's quick. In this restaurant, you get a free drunk woman with every meal. Some people have superhero reflexes. Some dogs warn you of intruders, and some dogs warn you to look busy before your wife returns home. Unlike the guy who couldn't get the cash register through the window, this is one seriously well-planned out burglary. You know that feeling when you just can't remember where you've put your coffee? When Laurel and Hardy make extra money by taking on a cleaning job. Parking doesn't get slicker than this. When you suddenly realize that your son has developed an ingenious and slightly weird crib moving technique. Some people were just born to work together. If you can't manage the getting into the car part of driving, then you probably shouldn't get a license. When a weird person comes to your door, there's a pretty good chance of them doing weird things, like this weirdo.
I'm a little sick because my brother gave me his disease. So anyway...
Wait, if you love our videos, be sure to check out Retrocast. And if Retrocast isn't your thing, don't worry, we have another Akimbo video for you.